Hello, Summer Ray. Hope you're feeling better. I just wanted to tell you what we did in class today. So we started with a great ideas in the news. So you could take a look at that last link in that module. And it was about a story that was in the New York Times on Sunday, and it said, I am a evangelical and a climate scientist. And so it related to the origin narratives that we began the course with. It related to the seeming conflict between science and religion, and it actually touches upon what we're doing now with Marx, because this evangelical Christian is someone who is concerned about global warming, because who does it affect most? It affects mostly the poor people living on a riverbank or on the shore of the ocean, whose lives are being devastated by changing climate. So she says, as a Christian, she is obligated to care for those the least among us. Interestingly, that is something that is common also with Marx, in that his two sort of catchphrases were from each according to his ability, to each according to his need. So the simple fact of need makes someone worthy of getting what it is that they need. So after that, we talked a little bit about the introductory material that talks about Marx and his father having converted from Judaism to Lutheranism. And the reason for that was, at that time in Germany, there were sort of restrictions on what Jews could do in society. So they couldn't be doctors or lawyers or university professors. So this man wanted his children to have better opportunities. So that's why he converted to Lutheranism. So then Marx hooks up with this guy Engels, who Marx was just barely making a living because he had submitted newspaper articles, and sort of the conservative forces says, this is too radical, we don't want this stuff. So he's practically starving, and he hooks up with this guy Engels, who's quite comfortable because his father has a textile mill in England. And so Engels is able to sort of keep Marx from starving, and then actually got to show him sort of the deplorable working conditions in one of these mid-19th century British textile mills. So then we move to, there's a Prezzie in the module, and let's see if I can figure out what is the name of the Prezzie. It's called, what is that? A Prezzie about German idealism, Hegel and Marx. So you can go through that yourself, and what it does is it connects this sort of pre-existing German philosophy, Hegelian idealism, to Marx. And one of the things that Hegel does is he gets beyond the basic dualism of Plato, who would just have, an idea and its opposite. Hegel comes up with an idea and its opposite, joins them together, and you get the synthesis. So basically he has sort of a triadic relationship to these conflicts instead of the dualistic one of Plato. Marx takes that and makes it utterly materialistic. And one of the things that Marx and Hegel believed was that history had this inevitable trajectory, and that it was sort of in the direction of progress. So Marx actually believed that history would unfold into a better place for the proletariat. So then when we started jumping into the text itself, and we started with the first line after the introductory paragraph, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggles. And a couple people in the class sort of objected to the notion that this was basically black and white. It seemed like an extreme way to start an essay, and it doesn't seem to be exactly triadic in a Hegelian way. It just seems, you've got this one side and you've got this opposing side. So we spent some time talking about the ways in which Marx's belief in an inevitable history and belief in progress gets him to think that the deplorable conditions that have arisen thanks to the Industrial Revolution and change from a feudal society to a bourgeois/capitalist society were doomed. They had their own sort of destruction sort of built into them. And then we ended up, we went and looked at the responses that some people had put into the discussion board. So If you have any questions about any of this, by all means, get in touch. So I'm just going to pack this up and stick it into YouTube and send you a link to it. And I hope that's helpful. Talk to you later. Bye.